Hey guys, this is Lindsay with Vinyl Gallery and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we will be working on this ombre leopard style tumbler that was inspired by this photo. I'll try to list everything I used in the description box below, and if you'd like to see how we did this tumbler, stay tuned. So we will be starting off with a 20-ounce tumbler from Hog. I'm just prepping like I normally do with a 60 grit sanding block, and I'll spray this off with rubbing alcohol, or you can use dish soap and water if you prefer. Once I get my tumbler clean, I will take it outside and spray it with my spray paints. For this look, we use Rust-Oleum Metallic Gold and Wine from Color Shot. For my glitter application, I prefer to use the epoxy method. Today I'm using the Flynn Sister Supply Shop Fast Set Epoxy, and I mixed up about 5 milliliters, and I only used about 1 to 1.5 milliliters to apply my glitter. Once I have a thin layer of epoxy on, I just take my hand and pat it all the way around the tumbler to just create some texture so that you do not see any lines or streaks when we apply our glitter. So when I do ombres, I like to start with the chunkiest, darkest glitter color first. So I am applying passion fruit. That's a chunky holographic mix from the glitter guy, and I'm barely sprinkling just to give this some dimension when we go in to add our fine cut glitter. Now I'll be going in with my chunky gold. This is Pieces of PJ from 4K Glitter Co, and I'm just lightly sprinkling, aiming right where the gold and the burgundy meet. With this chunky mix, I'm trying not to get the very bottom of my cup. It just makes it a little more difficult to sand once you have applied your coats of epoxy. Once we get done applying our chunky, we will move into the fine version of Pieces of PJ, and I'm going to make sure that I cover the bottom and go heavy around the bottom rim, and then we will just tilt our tumbler at a 45-degree angle and just let the glitter cascade down the tumbler. At this stage, we're still sprinkling rather lightly. This is just a rough draft. We're trying to map out exactly where we want our glitter to fall. For our fine cut dark glitter, this is of course a no-name glitter from 4K Glitter Co. It is brand new to our lineup, and we will just go heavy around the rim, and we're still tilting our tumbler and letting it cascade. We're still in the rough draft phase, so I'm not sprinkling full out just yet. We're going to repeat the same process. We're going to go back and forth with the glitters. Now I'm adding more glitter on a little bit more heavily, and I'm doing the exact same thing with this burgundy maroon glitter. We'll just tilt back and forth until we get the exact ombre or mix that we are looking for. I'm going extra heavy right now, just trying to get that blend perfectly in the middle. And then I did go back and add some passion fruit on top of the burgundy just to try to give it some more dimension. Once we have all our glitter applied, I do, even though it is a fine cut, I do roll it up in parchment paper just to flatten it out. And this is what we have so far. I'm going to give this 2 coats of epoxy, and I am using the Fast Set Flynn Sister Supply Shop epoxy, and we will be ready to move on to the next step. So I was looking for some ideas on Pinterest for a fall tumbler, and I ran across this set of nails. Here's a picture for your reference, and I thought this would be absolutely gorgeous on a tumbler. And I'm just taping off with painter's tape so that I can mask off the section that we're going to add the leopard spots to. So for this look, I wanted to have a spiral type situation with the leopard spot, so I just masked off this section, and this is the part we will be applying the mica powders to. Once I had everything taped off, I did apply a thin coat of Tack It to apply my mica powders. And going forward, I probably will use epoxy because it just gives it a more dramatic look, but I did put a thin coat of Tack It on there, and I'm going to use my Wet n Wild makeup brush to apply that. And I'm going to use my heat gun to help speed up the process. So once the Tack It dried, I took another Wet n Wild makeup brush And I'm starting with Simply Sarah's mica powders in the color of Angel, and I'm just going to dab this on there, and I'm going to go all the way down the cup, mixing the colors into the gold and the burgundy. As you guys know, this is a very beginner friendly channel, and going forward I probably would use a fan brush to apply the mica powders if I were trying to do this look over again. I think it just would create a little more whimsical, flowy look for the micas instead of dabbing it with this makeup brush. I moved into a mica powder from 4K Glitter Co, and I'm doing the same exact thing, just dabbing it on there. Then we went in with gold mica, and it's literally the exact same process. This mica is Fuchsia from Arteza, and I'm literally just dabbing this on, trying to give it some depth and dimension when we get ready to spread it all out. So once we have all of our mica powders applied, I just take this fluffy makeup brush and I rub, trying to blend these mica powders out. This is the point when I realized the epoxy method probably would have been better suited for this look that I was trying to achieve. Although it did work out in the end, I ended up having to use my hand to try to blend it out, and I ended up having to go back in because my tacket dried. But this is what we have so far. Once I was done with my mica powders, I did seal them with Rust-Oleum's 2x matte sealer. I got these leopard spots from Etsy. They are the fuzzy leopard spots from Bear Trends Designs, and I just cut them on my Silhouette Cameo, and we will apply these by hand. After I was done applying my leopard spots, I did remove my tape, and I sealed my leopard spots in with Quick Coat from CC DIY. So this is what we have so far. I am waiting on my Quick Coat to dry so that we can go in and apply one thin coat of epoxy. Here's another picture for your reference, and this is with Flynn Sister Supply Shop Fast Set Epoxy on top of the mica powders. So since Flynn Sister Supply Shop Fast Set cures for me in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I went ahead and cut my decals. Anyone that knows me knows that my mother's name is Veronica, and if you know my mom, you know that burgundy and gold have always been a classic duo for her. The gold vinyl that you see is from Tech Wrap Craft. This is the textured metallic gold vinyl, and I think it's in the color gold. There's a champagne gold, but I think this one is the actual gold. And I just did an offset. The black is from Orcal 651, and it's just a black matte adhesive vinyl. Once I had my name and my offset lined up, I used the hinge method to apply the decal. I did lose the dot to my eye, but I was able to recover that. And once I am done applying this decal, we will seal this vinyl in with another coat of CC DIY's Quick Coat, just to keep it from raising when the epoxy heats up. Once that dries, we will be ready to move into our final 2 coats of epoxy. And here's me sealing my decal in with this Quick Coat. Y'all, if y'all don't have Quick Coat, it is a must for me. Like, if I don't use it, my vinyl lifts every single time. And it only takes about 30 minutes to dry fully. So here we are. We have applied the final 2 coats of epoxy, but I have to clean the rim. This is probably my least favorite thing to do, but I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and just trim around the edge of my tumbler to remove any epoxy that may have gotten on there while I was putting my final 2 coats on. And then I'll just take some acetone and a paper towel to clean out the inside where you see the spray paint. There are several different ways to keep paint from entering your tumbler. I've seen people use paper plates. I've seen people buy the tumbler shields, whatever suits your fancy. But this is a part of the process that I absolutely do not enjoy, and I know better, and I'm going to do better. Just a beginner tip, sometimes I will take my heat gun and heat up my X-Acto knife just to get it to glide through the dried epoxy that's around the rim, but you have to be very, very careful when doing so, but that is a tip for you. Once the inside is clean, I will take it to the sink and wash it with dish soap and water, and we are done. Here's the finished product. I really hope my mom likes this. If you like what you see, give us a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next time. Bye.